Etude number 27 is excellent for work on spiccato and coordination, and I suggest that we work on it in 3 different stages. The first one being slowly on the string to first of all set the bow stroke that eventually will become spiccato, meaning very slow but relaxed with fingers that are loose, and same with the wrist and the bow arm. And the left hand, I would pay attention at this slow stage to the chromaticism that happens a lot in the first few bars to make sure I have enough space between all the half steps. I would then move to stage 2 once I have gone through the entire etude at this stage 1. And stage 2 would simply be the same but much faster, again on the string for coordination. And afterwards I would go to stage 3, whereby the spiccato is going to be my number 1 focus, and I'll make sure that I am closer to the middle of the bow and that I have all the joints here, wrist, fingers and elbow loose during the spiccato. Moving on to the next mini challenge, which I find to be in bar number 12, 13, 14 and 15, I would suggest that we pay attention to the string crossing that happens at the end of each bar, and we make sure that the last note in each bar is heard, which means that we have to have a slight hesitation before we go from bar 12 to 13 and so on and so forth, so everything is heard. The last unusual challenge happens at the very end, where in measure 55 the indicated fingering is thumb 2 for an octave, followed by third finger for a single note, and again thumb 2, and again a third finger, and so on and so forth. I find that to be very cumbersome for later on when we go faster. So slowly I would suggest that we work on a fingering which basically has the thumb 3 octave position that we all know, and that we keep it like that even for the single note in between, like this. As we go faster, this will be easier to execute than the other fingering, in my opinion. Measures 56 and 57, which are a chain of octaves up and down the C and G strings, I would suggest that we practice that slowly first for learning how much to compress and then expand the left hand. So I would work on a legato fashion through those 2 bars a few times. Until I teach myself exactly the rate of compression and expansion. Afterwards, I would work as indicated with separate notes. It's still basically a controlled glissando with separate notes, and I'll just make sure I keep track of how many beats up and down, 3 and 5 respectively, so I know where I am at all times. And then I put the whole thing together, starting maybe in bar number 54 to end the etude.